Hi, it's Carly McAvoy. I'm doing test prep for test 3 for the Math 97 class in the fall, and this is the part 2 of this. We're going to talk about multiplying polynomials. We're just really multiplying binomials here, and when you do that, we're using the FOIL method: first, outside, inside, and last. Our first terms here, r times r, give us r squared. Outside, we have positive 6r. Inside, we have negative 5r, and last, we have negative 30. And then we just want to combine the like terms, which are the r terms. And so we have r squared plus r minus 30. And that's going to be your final answer. On the second one, again, I'm going to do FOIL. First, 7h times 7h is 49h squared. Outside, 28h. Inside, negative 28h. This is plus. And last, I have negative 4 times positive 4, which is negative 16. And what happens to our inside and outside terms? They are opposites or additive inverses. They go away to 0. So 49h squared minus 16, final answer. Number 10, there is a shortcut, and if you know it, then use it. That's fine. But I'm going to just say what this actually is. 6w minus 5 to the second power means 6w minus 5 twice. And so when I FOIL that, I get first terms 36w squared. Outside, negative 30w. Inside, negative 30w. And last, positive 25. These do not cancel out like the last ones. The last ones were opposites. One was positive, one was negative. These are both negative, so they don't cancel. I get 36w squared minus 60w plus 25. And there you go. All right. Next part is solving proportions. When you solve a proportion, you're multiplying the means and the extremes. The means here would be, it's like my calculator just died. I can't do this without a calculator. Well, I probably could. So if you multiply 7 times 8, you get 56. That's the means. And then you multiply the extremes, you get 21x. And divide both sides by 21. And then reduce to the lowest terms. Don't change it into a decimal. Lowest terms here, we get 7 goes into both of these. So we get 8/3. So there's our final answer. All right, and for the next one, if I cross multiply, I get 45y because 15 times 3. And 9 times 25 is 225. And if I divide both sides by 45, I get y equals, that is 5 exactly. All right, so that's solving a proportion. Computing using multiplication. Well, when you're multiplying and you want to give your answer in scientific notation, you're going to multiply the number parts, 4.7 and 3.2, and then you're going to do your powers of 10 part like that. 4.7 and multiplied by 3.2 is 15. I did have this written down ahead. I did not just do that in my head. 0.04. And then negative 19 and positive 30, when you add those together, you get 11. And then we're going to move the decimal point 1 to the left. And when I was talking about this in class, what I was saying is here you were going to go 11 steps to the right. And you just backed up 1 step. So it should make sense to you that you actually need to go 12 steps. The other thing that we talked about was whether you add or subtract 1 or subtract a negative 1 or add a negative 1. And the rule that I said was if you take your decimal point to the left, you subtract negative 1, which is the same as adding. If you go to the right, you subtract positive 1. So that's something that you can use the shortcut, or you can just remember, did I go in the direction I wanted to go, or did I go opposite of that? Okay, so for number 14, you're going to divide the number part, and then you're going to work with your powers of 10 part. Remember, in scientific notation, that's the one time when it's okay to have negative exponents. 1/6 divided by 4/8, that's a third, so about, well, we're just going to round it to 0.333. And then what I have is negative 10 minus negative 4, because the rule is if you're dividing, you subtract the exponents. Minus minus makes that actually plus. So I have 0.333 times 10 to the negative 20, oh, that's plus, sorry, I thought that was 14 for a second. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. And then if I move the decimal point one place, well, I moved it 1 to the right, so I subtract 1. Or you can think of it this way. I was going to go 3 places to the left, and I backed up once. I took it 1 to the right, so now I have 4 places to go to get back to that spot. All right, 2 more, and then we'll do the other last part on the other video. This is conversion, and we're talking about converting 90 quarts into gallons and quarts. So 90 quarts, you put that over 1, and then you say I have 4 quarts, not quarts, 4 quarts for 1 gallon. So you can see what's happening. Your quarts cancel, and you have 90 divided by 4. So 4 goes in there 22 times. Because 4 goes into 8, or is a 9 twice, and then 10 is twice, and it's got 2 left over, so 22.5. Maybe you have a calculator, which would be nice. I still got to grab one in a second here. And then that means you have 22 gallons, but you don't want to say I have 0.5 quarts. What you have is 0.5 of a gallon. Half a gallon would be 2 quarts, so we actually have a half there. Okay, and then the next one, 65 miles per hour. Well, I am going to get my calculator for that one. You're going to set that up as 65 miles over 1 hour, so you have a rate that you're starting with. And we want to change it into feet per second, so it looks like this, 65 miles over 1 hour. We want to change miles into feet. So I know that every mile has 5,280 feet. And then I also want to change the hours into seconds. And I know that 1 hour has 3,600 seconds. How did I get that? Well, there's 60 minutes and then 60 seconds in a minute, so 60 times 60. So what happens here is that the hours cancel and the miles cancel, and that's going to leave feet per second, which is what I want. And then the calculation is multiply what's on top, 65 times 5,280, whoops, and then divide that by 3,600. And that gives me 95.33333, which I'm going to call 95 1/3 feet per second. I like exact. If I see 0.333, I know that that's just 1/3. So I want to be exact and do that. But if you're going to round it, don't just say 95. Give me 95.33, and don't use the bar above to show me that it repeats. Your answer should stop at some specific point. Okay, I'm going to do the last of these on another video because this one's getting kind of long. I'll see you next time.